Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me and dropping your comments. Well, this was a very disappointing night for the Knicks in general. Not only did they lose, they even got down like 22 points to the Hawks, never led in this game, were able to tie it late in the third quarter, and then gave up 5 points really quick in the final seconds of that third quarter to go into the fourth down 5. And we'll get into all of that. I do not have highlights for you tonight. This is going to be a shorter recap. This game doesn't really deserve much discussion considering, what happened. I mean, these guys were gassed. That's what it looked like to me. They were making mental mistakes. Josh Hart didn't even score a point until the third quarter. And it just seemed like they didn't have quite the same spunk and tenacity that they had in the previous game against the Cavs, where they pulled off that excellent victory against the Cavs, being down Jalen Brunson for basically the entire game. The thing is, the minutes are catching up, and they're going to. Deuce, played like the most minutes anyone had ever played as a Knick coming off the bench last time, and 47 minutes and 13 seconds or something like that. And I believe he also played, I think, the most minutes tonight. We'll get into it. I have a different kind of box score for you guys, but let's get going. Here we go. So the Knicks lost 116-100, and the game was actually closer than that for a good part of that fourth quarter, and the Knicks were just struggling. When you spend so much energy trying to get back into the game, and then you finally tie it, and you let them have the lead back for a little bit, it's kind of hard to regain that momentum. And Thibs did make some mistakes in terms of his rotations. Precious Achiuwa, who I felt was having a very good game, very impactful game, did only play like a minute and a half in that fourth quarter. I don't know why he sat out. I think Thibs was thinking, let's go with Bojan Bogdanovic. Bojan did have a great second quarter. He scored 12 points in that second quarter, but really can only put up an additional 7 points the rest of the way. And in that fourth quarter, he just didn't have it. When he's not shooting, when he's not hitting buckets, he's a big liability defensively. And that's another thing. The Knicks just could not get key stops. But the real story of this game was the rebounding. The Knicks down there, you can see, were out-rebounded by 11 to the Hawks team. Now, I get it. The Knicks didn't shoot well. They shot 38.4% overall. But when you give up second chance opportunities to the opponents, you're going to lose if it happens too often. One thing, though, this guy. This is a concern here. Alec Burks in New York this season, 10 games. Shout out to Knicks Muse. He's shooting 32.3% overall. Now, he was scorching hot for the month of January, leading into the trade deadline on February 8th. So I don't know what happened. It just shut off, because now, look, he's below 30% from the three-point line. His true shooting is 42%. Yikes. He's a minus 53 in total when he's on the court. So then, while he's been on the court, the Knicks were outscored by 53 points. Only 9 assists and 9 turnovers. That is a terrible 1-to-1 ratio right there. He's not the answer. He's not the ball handler. This was a mistake of an acquisition. And now we finally did sign somebody else, Shake Milton. But come on, why did it take so long? We needed a ball handler before. Now, I love what Deuce is doing, but we need more. Now Brunson's out. Now Deuce is playing the whole game. So this whole thing is getting screwed up right now, right in front of our eyes. Look at this, the standings right now. The Knicks are now in 5th. And just a half game in front of Miami. Miami won tonight. Orlando won tonight. Cleveland won tonight. All the three teams that the Knicks are clustered with right there, they all won tonight. It could have been so much different. If the Knicks had been able to pull off this game tonight and Cleveland had lost, we would only be 2 games out of 3rd. So we're going in the wrong direction. And unfortunately, it's just not too much you can do when you just don't have enough bodies. And Isaiah Hartenstein, he looks kind of lost out there. He's just not himself. Obviously, he's got that Achilles in his head. Maybe he is playing through pain right now. Actually, he's already said that pretty much. He came back a little too early. He probably could have used another 2 weeks of rest. He admitted that, I think, after the last game, after the Cavs game. And at this point, all we can do is hope that Brunson, who did not play tonight, is actually fine, and that he will play on Friday against Orlando, because that's a big game. We're tied, literally tied in games back in record right there. But we need that win. Orlando, I believe, they've won all 3 against us. Not 100% on that, but I know that they're leading the series against us. So these are rough times, people. Very rough times. Let's go to this. All right, so this is the official scorers report. You can download these PDFs from NBA.com. And what's nice about it is they break it out by quarter. Here's the total box scores. You can see the Hawks had 3 guys 20 points or more, and one of them came off the bench, and that was DeAndre Hunter, who shot 9 of 14 overall, 2 of 5 from the 3-point line. And the dude he hurt us. He ended up being a plus 13 in his 22 points. DeJounte Murray in that fourth quarter, he inflicted his will and helped create some space for them, some padding with his 21 points. He played almost 37 minutes himself. But Jalen Johnson, former Dookie, 38 minutes, 12 of 17 overall, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line, and 9 rebounds. Look at that. 4 starters for the Hawks had 9 rebounds. That is crazy, including DeJounte Murray. And Jalen Johnson with 26 points. Sadiq Bey, a former Villanova player, 17 points for him. Clint Capella, 13 and 9. But look at those 7 assists for Jalen Johnson. That is quite a box score for that young man. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists for him. Excellent game. But look at Precious Achiuwa. This is why I brought him up earlier. Only played 24 minutes on a night when Josh Hart plays 43. After almost playing the entire game 2 nights ago. 2 nights. 1 night of rest in between is not that much time after you've played over 40 minutes in a game. Especially when you've been playing a lot of minutes, and that, as Josh Hart has, it starts adding up. And here, look at Deuce. He played, last time I said, he played over 47 minutes. Tonight, over 45 and a half minutes right there. The poor guy, shot 4 of 15 overall, 3 of 10. He gave his all in that fourth quarter. He was just ineffective. In fact, let's go through the quarters here. But as you can see, look at Burks. 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. 5 of 14 overall. 11 points. He did give us 11 points in his 11 minutes, but he needed 14 field goal attempts. That is so bad. That's just bad, poor efficiency right there. And even Bojan, 19 points. Yeah, looks nice right there, but on a night when we're starved for scoring and he's left out on the floor for long periods of time, in his 31 minutes, he was 6 of 18. 18 field goal attempts to give you 19 points. Doesn't work for me. It doesn't work in terms of trying to win. Jericho had a decent game in his 26 minutes, 9 rebounds for him. He picked up an assist and got a steal right there and got 4 points. But Dante DiVincenzo struggles. Again, I would say minutes. And Thibs kind of tried to give him a little bit of a rest. You see, he only played about 39 minutes. But he just couldn't recapture his touch. All night long, he was laboring. He got off to a poor start. I think he missed his first 4 or 5 shots right away. 21 points on 24 field goal attempts. He put up 17 3-pointers. The Knicks as a team put up 52 3-pointers. 52, and they only shot 30.8% overall behind the arc. So this was ugly, especially when you consider that all the other teams in the standings trying to get that 3rd seed all picked up a W tonight, except for the Knicks. Let's look at it quarter by quarter. So here's the first quarter. As you can see, the Knicks were down already by 18 in that first quarter. Quite a hole to sink into, and they spent the rest of the next 2 quarters trying to climb out of it, and they actually did by the end of that 3rd quarter when they tied it. So I thought, you know what? I think the momentum and playing at home, it's going to carry over. And in that fourth quarter, the Knicks are just going to keep pulling away. Totally didn't happen that way. And I'll get into why. But here you can see in that first quarter, pretty dismal. Dante was 1 of 9 overall from the three-point line in that first quarter, 2 of 11. Bojan and Burks both came in 0 for 2 as well. Nobody had it. Nobody had it in the first quarter. Then we moved to the second quarter. Very different. The Knicks won that quarter by 7, 35-28. So they stopped the bleeding and turned it around. They went into the half only down 11 after being down at 1.22. So that was kind of like a bit of a moral victory, and it felt like, you know what? Okay, maybe they can keep that momentum, and they did in that third quarter. So you can see in the second quarter, Bojan was pivotal. 12 points for him, 4 of 8, 3 of 4 from the three-point line. He was definitely the most productive scorer for the Knicks in that quarter. And Precious Achiuwa, in his 5 minutes, 4 of 4, gave you 10 points. The team was a plus 10 when he was on the court. So that's why it's a head-scratcher fourth quarter. Where was he? Who knows? The rebounding was even in that quarter, 9-9, and that's one of the reasons why the Knicks were able to stick around, or not. I mean, basically chop into that lead. And the Hawks got a little cold from the three-point line in that second quarter. They only shot 3 of 11, and the Knicks shot 6 of 11, 54.5%. So things were looking better. You know, you thought, okay, but look, Josh Hart, no field goal attempts in that second quarter, and only 2 field goal attempts in the first quarter. So only 2 field goal attempts total for the half. You can't have a starter who's playing the entire first quarter and plays, about 7. So over 19 minutes in that first half, only puts up 2 shot attempts. You can't have that. And so I think they must have had a discussion with him in the locker room, because when he came out in that third quarter, he woke up. He played the entire third quarter. So did Dante, and so did Miles. Okay? That is going to fry your players. But I can see, we are shorthanded. So, Shake Milton, the new signee, he was available, but Thibs said he's going to be situational. I think this was the kind of game you should have seen some minutes from Shake Milton. It was obvious looking at these players to begin that fourth quarter, actually to begin the first quarter, that it was obvious that these guys were cooked, and they were just basically trying to wait for a second win or even a third win to hit them. And it did finally come in that second quarter and third quarter, but there was no more wins, no more wind at all for that fourth quarter. They just ran aground and didn't have much going for them in that fourth quarter. But in the third quarter, Knicks, again, they chopped that lead. Actually, like I said, they had tied this game, and then they allowed 5 points in the last few seconds in that third quarter. And that was kind of a bit of a backbreaker, honestly. Even though the Knicks were able to get the game down to 4 points kind of late in that fourth quarter. Not late, but midway to a third of the way into the fourth quarter. One thing I wanted to note here was, again, the rebounding. The Knicks held it together 12-11 right here. Even though overall, so you can see the first quarter, a terrible rebounding story, and then the last quarter as well. Let's get to the fourth quarter. Here you go. The Knicks, actually, they were out-rebounded 14-10 in that fourth quarter, so that'll tell you right there. And what else did I want to point out here? Okay, here. This is what I'm going to show. Look at Bojan. He played the entire fourth quarter. So did Miles. So Miles played the entire third quarter. Oh, wow. Miles played the entire third quarter and the entire fourth quarter. Same for Josh Hart. So Josh Hart and Deuce McBride played the entire second half, those guys. No wonder they didn't have much left in the tank at all. They started out playing on fumes anyway. But Josh Hart, 2 of 5 three-pointers, gave you 6 points right there. Dante DiVincenzo finally started connecting on some three-pointers there. He had 2 of 2, 2 of 4 overall. But Deuce, poor guy, 0 for 5 in that quarter, 0 for 3 from the three-point line, just had nothing left to give. He gave it all. He basically gave it all in the first 3 quarters. But Bojan, that's where Bojan and Burks are supposed to pick up the slack. Burks could only see 3 minutes and 47 seconds of court time in that fourth quarter, because he's just not giving you points. So, and his defense isn't what it used to be. One thing I got to point out, Bojan Bogdanovic once again fouled a three-point shooter. This now, I believe, is the third game in a row that he's fouled a three-point shooter. That has got to stop, bro. I mean, come on. Just shooting yourself in the foot here. So the Knicks shot 27.8% in that third quarter, and really were just. But look at the Hawks. They were 13 of 18 overall, and that's with missing three 3-pointers of the 4 that they attempted. So they were 12 and 14. They only missed 2 shots inside the arc. Wow. Excellent. They shot 72.2%. That is painful. Painful, man. Wow. All right, let's get to this. So here are the team comps. As you can see, the field goal percentage overall, they shot over 50%. Knicks shot under 40. The three-point shooting, obviously the Knicks could have needed a few more three-point shots to go down. And the assists, the Knicks did hit 27 again. Last time would they have 32 or 33 assists. That was fantastic against the Cavs. Tonight they got 27, which usually they win when they get 27, but not tonight because they couldn't hit the side of a barn. The fast break points were a big plus for the Knicks. They were plus 14 in that category, 25-11, and they really needed it because they got out-rebounded. And points off turnovers, which you can't see here. Actually, you can see it in the next slide. Points off turnovers, the Knicks gave up 17 points off turnovers, so they were a -8 in that category. So this was a game to me where Thibs could have maybe substituted his players more often. Even though they may play almost the same amount of minutes, you rotate them more to try to keep them a little fresh. Because when you just leave them out there for long periods of time, I mean, Hart and McBride played the entire second half. When you go into the fourth quarter, actually, let's go back to this here. So in the fourth quarter, so the fourth quarter begins, the Knicks are now down 5. They're able, after a Sims slam dunk off a missed Burks three-point shot. So Sims gets the rebound, the offensive rebound, and he dunks it, and now the score is 88-84. So it looks like, okay, you're thinking the Knicks could, kind of get this together. Then Bruno Fernando, boom. Layup 90-84, so now the Knicks are down 6. Burks misses a driving layup, 3-foot driving layup. Sims gets the rebound. Bogdanovic misses a wide open 3-point shot. Hart gets the rebound. Then he turns it over with a bad pass. Hunter gets the steal, and Deuce commits a foul. So then that's like, but it was a non-shooting foul. Then Hunter gets the ball. He dunks it. Now the Knicks are down 8, 92-84, with 8 minutes and 34 seconds left. So at this point, yes, I am worried. Okay, it looks like this is getting a little tough. And then DeAndre Hunter hits the and one, 93-84. Now we're down 9. Now Burks misses an open three-point shot. Sims gets the offensive rebound, and then Bogdanovic misses an open three-point shot. So these two guys who were brought here specifically for this purpose, to hit open three-point shots, are not doing it. They let us down tonight. If they hit even just 2 out of those 5 attempts, it's very different. It's a 6-point. So the Knicks are down then 93-90, just down 3. They have the momentum, but that's where the wind totally left the sails on this team. But there was a technical foul. Bogdanovic hit the free throw. And then, look, another DiVincenzo misses a finger roll. Deuce gets the rebound, but then he flings a 50-foot three-point shot. It says 50-foot. That's not right. It was like a 30-footer, which actually was not a good shot attempt. I think he thought the shot clock was dying. And then finally, Hart did hit a 3-point shot to cut the lead to 5, to cut the deficit to 5, 93-88. But that was it. Then Murray came in. The Hawks called a timeout. Murray came in, hits a jump shot. And then it just keeps going from there. Then Hart did hit another 3-pointer. So there's 2 3-pointers that he hit. in this quarter, which really helped keep the Knicks around. They were as close as 4 points with 6 minutes and 27 seconds left in this game. It was 95-91, but by then you could see they had expended so much energy to stay around in this game. Look at all those offensive rebounds that they were able to get and couldn't profit off of it. And then the Hawks made some substitutions. They brought Capella and Bogdanovich back into this game. Murray hits a three-pointer, and that's pretty much when the game just got out of hand, 98-91. And before you could even blink, it was a 15-point game deficit. So that was it. That's what happened. Anything here of note that I didn't mention? No. So right now, I guess all we can do is just hope that Brunson is actually okay, and I'm fine with them resting him for this game. Especially after such a weird injury, you don't want to risk anything. Let him, have an extra night off. But the game against the Magic is pivotal for the Knicks' chances to get into that third seed, and we need Randall, we need OG back, we need those guys back as soon as possible. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll hear some more information soon about that. I'm thinking that OG should be back, at some point in the next 5 or 6 days is what I'm hoping. We'll see. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe. Share this. Hit the thumbs up button for me and drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts and feelings about this game. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.